That was by far one of the best episodes of anime to come out in a very long time, in my opinion. Demon Slayer Season 3, Episode 3 was an absolute banger. In every single category of a show and how you want an episode to be, I feel like they hit the nail. There was a lot of humor in the first half of the episode, especially with the swordsmith and who's going to build this sword. Something interesting to note is don't forget that Tanjiro is using a substitute sword right now, and that the sword they found within the doll is being worked on right now in the forge. But let's forget all that, right? All the stuff with Genya, that was really cool in the beginning too. But finally, we see the Mist Hashira and Tanjiro and Neuzko are all in a room, and then they get snuck up on by a demon. Now, first of all, demons getting into the swordsmith village in itself is crazy. How did they track them? Who got tracked? Did they know from the beginning? Right, we saw this being alluded to, especially in the upper rank meeting and a lot of the other episodes. So we obviously knew they were going to get infiltrated at one point. But the fact that they got infiltrated, and it wasn't like a frontal assault, the Mist Hashira and Tanjiro did not notice the demon until he was right there. And then after they slice his head off, he's splitting into multiple parts and multiple other demons. And I like how when he's splitting, it's not like... They could have easily made a character like White Zetsu from Naruto that has a multiple clones that are kind of like, you know, just like fodder characters, but they have unique abilities which are really cool, and that's going to make the fight super interesting because we have a lot of characters here, and a lot of characters that too, they aren't Zenitsu or Inosuke, so that's going to make some really interesting fights and a lot of ways to show off characters and their abilities. Like the Love Hashira can easily fight one of these characters that has a crazy ability, and what's cool is in the fight when they split the demon, we see Genya go and he starts fighting for the first time too. And like I was talking about, we have all of these characters with all these demons fighting their own opponent, and we're gonna get to see Genya use the full extent of his abilities against a demon versus their abilities, which are seemingly really unique. And that's what Demon Slayer always shines on. They always have these super unique villains with their different abilities that makes it an interesting viewing experience. This really reminds me of the style of One Piece, how they have all the Straw Hats fighting a separate villain with whatever arc they're in, and we're definitely going to get that again here, which we didn't really get in the Entertainment District too much, which is going to be cool because it's going to be isolated, I believe, 1v1, which is going to be interesting. And I obviously, it's Demon Slayer, everyone knows it, but the animation for the Mist Hashira and just the fight in general is so sharp, as well as the humor part. The way they have that contrast of the super sharp animation for the fights versus the joking moments is what makes it an interesting viewing experience that you're like, God damn, they got a little bit of everything in this show. And it really makes it so when you are watching, you know you're getting a little bit of everything in almost every episode. It's a show that knows when to be serious and when to be joking, which makes it so these characters feel more than just like demon slayers. They feel like real people. By doing that too, you can have funny moments in fights that make it like almost a break in the tension, so that the characters, and when they're fighting, and if they want to do an elongated fight, you can see their personality through the fight as well. And the Mist Hashira being separated from the rest of the crew is going to be extremely important, because a lot of the exposition and the conversations we got with Tanjiro and the Mist Hashira, his BS gimmick is that he like forgets everything, which is cool and interesting. Even though I just called it BS, it is interesting to see, right? It's a cool dynamic for a character to have, but he's seemingly learning how to become more human by his interactions with Tanjiro. And we see everyone that Tanjiro interacts with, they often learn something and are inspired by him, but this is a different kind of inspiration that we don't typically see. To see a character that's on the good side go from being a machinery and just an absolute weapon of destruction to really being a human and doing more than just what his bottom line objective is something that I hope they expand on. And I think that's why they wanted to remove Zenitsu and Inosuke from the story, because they want to see how, they want to show us how Tanjiro is going to interact with these other kinds of characters, which makes Tanjiro different than he was before. Before, he was just such a good character that almost was annoying, but now when you almost have a blank canvas for him to paint his personality onto, it really makes you understand the impact he has on a different level than just a generic good guy stuff. Now, I gotta say though, this fight is so cool, man. When the Mist Hashira and all the clouds around him, the way they're animating it is so cool. I cannot explain it enough. How UFO Table is absolutely killing it on the animation. And obviously, we always hear that with Demon Slayer. But I think too, in this fight, in these series of fights, you're going to see them go a different style than they usually do, which is going to be really cool with so many characters. you can really just flex your full creativity and your full style. Genya's place in this arc cannot be lost on, because there's a lot of relatively simple characters that we have in this arc, and we would go over all in. The Love Hashira is pretty just goody-goody. The Mist Hashira is learning how to be more personable, more human, and Tanjiro is obviously the staple good guy. But Genya is complex. He has his relationship with his brother, the Wind Hashira, and then he has whatever is going on in the back of his story, which is really, really, like, he is the one that is going to make us really feel committed to the story, compared to some of the other characters that are going to create awesome moments and awesome spectacle. He's going to be the one that's really going to make us feel connected. Demon Slayer finally just got started for real, for real. The situation is critical, and I'm sure in the next episode it's going to get even more intense. So that's all I got for you guys today. We're just getting started. I'll stay consistent, and I'll see you guys in the next video.